Today, we'll unearth 5 of Egypt's darkest mysteries, from the hidden tomb of Cleopatra to the haunting, screaming mummy. Welcome to Freak Files, channel that brings horror stories and weird history to life via documentary. These stories will forever change how you see this ancient land. Let's begin with the first mystery, the tomb of Egypt's most famous queen and her tragic lover. Could it be that Cleopatra's final resting place is hidden because it holds secrets the world isn't ready to confront? 1. The tomb of Cleopatra and Mark Antony. The story of Cleopatra and Mark Antony remains one of history's most enduring tales of love and tragedy. Their dramatic deaths in 30 BCE marked the fall of Egypt's Ptolemaic dynasty and the rise of Roman control. Yet one mystery persists: what became of their bodies? Ancient texts describe their tomb as grand and opulent, but despite centuries of searching, it has never been found. The search is further hindered by Alexandria's turbulent history. Founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BCE, this once thriving city was among the most advanced in the ancient world. However, over 75% of its structures, including Cleopatra's palace and the Pharos lighthouse, were submerged by devastating earthquakes and tsunamis between the 4th and 8th centuries CE. Today, approximately 15 square kilometers of the ancient city lie underwater, creating immense challenges for modern exploration. Cleopatra, the last queen of Egypt, was as much a political strategist as a ruler. After her defeat at the Battle of Actium and her subsequent suicide, her enemies, led by Octavian, later Emperor Augustus, were eager to erase her influence. It's widely believed that the secrecy surrounding her tomb was deliberate, ensuring her enemies could neither desecrate her remains nor claim her as a symbol of conquest. But there's another layer to the story. Cleopatra was known for her deep interest in Egyptian religion, particularly its emphasis on immortality and the afterlife. Some theorists suggest her tomb may have been designed not just as a resting place, but as a repository for sacred or forbidden artifacts. Ancient Egyptian rituals often incorporated magical texts meant to protect the dead, and Cleopatra's burial may have been surrounded by such measures, adding an extra layer of secrecy to its location. In recent years, archaeologists have focused their search on Osiris Magna, a temple complex located approximately 30 kilometers west of Alexandria. This site, built during the Ptolemaic era, has yielded significant findings, including coins minted with Cleopatra's image and statues believed to represent the goddess Isis, with whom Cleopatra closely identified. The temple also contains underground chambers, which some believe may conceal royal burials. Despite extensive excavations, no conclusive evidence of Cleopatra's tomb has yet been found. Ancient Egyptians believed tombs were sacred and often inscribed curses warning against disturbance. Some of the most infamous curses, such as the one allegedly linked to Tutankhamun's tomb, have been dismissed as coincidence, but others continue to evoke fascination and fear. If Cleopatra's tomb is ever uncovered, it could reignite debates about the reality of such curses. Adding to the mystery, artifacts buried with Cleopatra and Antony could have historical ramifications. What if the tomb contained writings that challenged the Roman narrative of their defeat? Or treasures that revealed forgotten truths about Ptolemaic Egypt's relationship with Rome? The potential implications make this one of the most tantalizing mysteries in Egyptology. The Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities has supported numerous projects, including underwater explorations off the coast of Alexandria. So far, the most promising leads remain at Osiris Magna. However, funding, technological limitations, and political instability in the region have all hindered progress. In recent years, advances in ground-penetrating radar and other geophysical tools have renewed hope, but experts estimate that identifying the tomb's precise location could take years, if not decades. Does Cleopatra's tomb conceal forbidden relics or the truth about her legendary reign? Its discovery could reshape history as we know it. So Cleopatra's resting place, if found, could hold forbidden truths locked away for centuries. But lost tombs aren't the only secrets buried in ancient Egypt. Sometimes, an unassuming trash heap can hide the most chilling revelations. 2. The Oxyrhynchus Papyri, Hidden Secrets of the Dead. The discovery of the Oxyrhynchus Papyri is one of the strangest ancient Egypt secrets ever found of the 19th century. However, beneath its academic significance lies an eerie and sinister narrative. This collection of ancient documents, unearthed in a seemingly unremarkable trash heap, may hold secrets that were deliberately buried, and for good reason. In 1896, two British archaeologists, Bernard Grenfell and Arthur Hunt, began excavating the ancient city of Oxyrhynchus, located in what is now modern-day El Banasa, Egypt. During their dig, they stumbled upon a massive pile of discarded documents preserved by the dry desert climate. The find was staggering. Tens of thousands of fragments, ranging from mundane records like tax receipts and shopping lists to literary texts and religious writings. To date, scholars have identified over 500,000 pieces of papyrus from the site, with many still awaiting translation. Amid ordinary records like tax receipts, archaeologists uncovered chilling fragments, curses, spells, and rituals that evoke a darker side of ancient Egypt. Among these artifacts, archaeologists uncovered rituals for summoning spirits and casting family-wide curses. Written in both Greek and Egyptian, these chilling documents are believed to be remnants of Egyptian curses and unsanctioned practices. For example, one text describes a ritual to summon a spirit for revenge, complete with specific instructions on sacrifices and incantations. Another fragment appears to outline a curse targeting an entire family, written in a dialect of Greek interspersed with hieratic symbols. These findings have led some scholars to speculate that Oxyrhynchus may have been a hub for esoteric practices, or even a dumping ground for writings deemed too dangerous or heretical to preserve elsewhere. The context of these texts raises chilling questions. Who created these spells and curses, and why were they discarded in a trash heap rather than preserved in a temple or library? One theory suggests that these were the writings of rogue priests or individuals practicing unsanctioned rituals, practices that may have been punishable by death in ancient Egypt. Others believe the papyri were deliberately hidden by early Christians who sought to destroy pagan texts during their rise to power in the Roman Empire. This theory gains weight from the discovery of religious writings among the papyri, including early Christian Gospels and apocryphal texts. Could these fragments represent an attempt to bury the old world's forbidden knowledge, while ushering in a new era of religious dominance? As scholars continue to translate the papyri, their findings often provoke more questions than answers. The text's references to the supernatural blur the line between history and mythology, leaving researchers to wonder whether they document genuine beliefs or merely ancient fiction. One fragment, for instance, contains instructions for creating a protective amulet by inscribing the names of specific demons onto an animal bone. The purpose of this amulet is unclear, but its dark implications have led some to believe it was intended to ward off malevolent forces that the ancient Egyptians may have genuinely feared. Another chilling discovery involves a series of ritual texts that refer to the shadow that consumes. This phrase, found across several fragments, has yet to be fully understood, but suggests a belief in an entity or phenomenon capable of erasing the very essence of life. The Oxyrhynchus papyri have not escaped controversy in modern times. The massive collection is managed by the Egypt Exploration Society, which has faced criticism for its slow pace of translation and publication. Additionally, rumors persist of fragments being sold illegally on the black market, potentially containing the most damning or dangerous texts. In recent years, advances in imaging technology have allowed researchers to uncover previously unreadable texts, deepening the mystery. Some of these newly revealed fragments include references to gods and rituals previously unknown to Egyptology, challenging our understanding of ancient Egyptian religion and society. Even today, only a fraction of these texts have been translated, leaving countless ancient Egyptian mysteries still buried in their brittle pages. One of the most intriguing questions about the Oxyrhynchus papyri is why such a large volume of texts was discarded in the first place. Was this truly a simple trash heap, or was it something more deliberate? Are these fragments relics of forbidden artifacts, or were they buried to suppress the most dangerous Egyptian secrets? The truth may be more haunting than we imagine. Dark spells and chilling rituals buried in the sands, but what about those buried in shame? Our next mystery takes us to a horrifying discovery, a scream frozen in time. 3. The Screaming Mummy. Buried deep within the sands of Egypt lies one of the most chilling discoveries ever unearthed. A mummy whose expression appears frozen in an eternal scream. Known as the Screaming Mummy, this relic of ancient Egypt raises haunting questions. What could have caused such a gruesome death? Was it the result of torture, poison, or a curse? And why was this individual buried so differently from others? The Screaming Mummy was discovered in 1886 by Gaston Maspero, then director of the Egyptian Antiquities Service, in the Deir el-Bahari royal cache. Among the remains of pharaohs and high-ranking nobles, this mummy stood out. Its face was contorted in a grimace of agony, its mouth wide open in what appeared to be a scream. Even more unusual was the manner of its burial. Unlike the ornate wrappings and luxurious tombs of other royal mummies, this individual was hastily wrapped in sheepskin, a material considered impure in ancient Egypt. The contrast was striking, a seemingly high-ranking figure treated with indignity, buried in a way that suggested shame or punishment. Initial examinations of the mummy provided few clues to its identity. However, advances in forensic technology in recent decades have shed new light on this mystery. CT scans and DNA testing have revealed that the mummy was a male, approximately 18 to 20 years old at the time of death. Analysis of his lineage suggests he was related to Ramses III, one of Egypt's most powerful pharaohs. This connection led researchers to an extraordinary hypothesis. The Screaming Mummy may be none other than Prince Pentawere, the son of Ramses III, who was implicated in a palace conspiracy to assassinate his father. The harem conspiracy is one of the most infamous plots in ancient Egyptian history. Detailed in the judicial papyrus of Turin, the conspiracy was orchestrated by one of Ramses III's secondary wives, Queen Tai, who sought to place her son Pentawere on the throne. The plot ultimately failed, and its participants were captured and subjected to severe punishment. Historical records state that Pentawere was forced to commit suicide as punishment for his betrayal. The condition of the Screaming Mummy aligns with this account. Forensic analysis suggests the presence of ligature marks around the neck, indicating possible strangulation or hanging. While the forensic evidence points to suicide, some historians believe there may be more to the story. Ancient Egyptians believed that burial rites were essential for ensuring a soul's safe passage to the afterlife. The desecration of Pentawere's body, being wrapped in impure sheepskin and denied the proper funerary rites, suggests he may have been cursed, condemned to wander eternally in the afterlife as punishment for his crimes. This theory is supported by the fact that his body was buried in the royal cache rather than in a separate tomb. Was this an act of mercy by a sympathetic family member, or an effort to conceal his shameful legacy? The most haunting aspect of this mummy is its expression. Could the scream have been a physical reaction to the manner of death, or does it signify something more spiritual? Some researchers believe the open mouth could be the result of rigor mortis, which set in before the body was properly prepared for mummification. Others, however, suggest a darker interpretation, that the scream represents the anguish of a soul trapped between worlds, denied peace in both life and death. This idea aligns with the Egyptian belief in the Ka, or spiritual essence, which required proper burial rituals to thrive in the afterlife. These analyses have confirmed the theory of a violent death, but they have also raised new questions about his treatment post-mortem. Marks on the bones suggest that the body was handled roughly, possibly reflecting the contempt of those tasked with burying him. However, there is still no definitive evidence that this is Pentawere. Other candidates have been proposed, including minor royals or individuals punished for crimes unrelated to the harem conspiracy. The lack of inscriptions or grave goods further obscures the mummy's identity. The Screaming Mummy remains one of Egypt's most unsettling mysteries. Is it truly Prince Pentawere, condemned to eternal shame for his betrayal, or is it someone else, forgotten by history, but immortalized in this haunting state? What is certain is that this mummy forces us to confront the darker side of ancient Egypt, a world of political intrigue, harsh punishments, and the ever-present fear of divine judgment. A scream frozen in eternity is haunting enough, but what about a structure so vast and complex that it drove those who entered to madness? Let's step into the shadowy corridors of Egypt's lost labyrinth. 4. The Lost Labyrinth of Hawara. Imagine a structure so vast and complex that ancient writers claimed it could drive men to madness. This was the Labyrinth of Hawara, a legendary monument described as one of the greatest marvels of the ancient world. But today it is nowhere to be found. Was it destroyed, buried, or deliberately hidden to protect its secrets? The Lost Labyrinth of Hawara was first described by the Greek historian Herodotus in the 5th century BCE. He wrote that the structure, located near the Pyramid of Amenhotep III in Hawara, Egypt, contained 3,000 rooms spread across 2 levels, one above ground and one below. Herodotus marveled at its scale, claiming that the labyrinth surpassed even the pyramids in grandeur. While the ancient accounts agree on the labyrinth's magnificence, they differ on its function. Some believe it was a ceremonial complex, designed to honor Sobek, the crocodile-headed god of water and fertility. Others think it served as an administrative hub for the nomes, or provinces, of ancient Egypt. However, darker theories suggest the labyrinth may have had a more sinister purpose. The underground levels, said to contain hidden tombs and possibly even secret chambers, have led some to speculate that the labyrinth was designed to safeguard powerful relics, or to imprison individuals whose secrets were too dangerous to expose. In the 19th century, archaeologist Flinders Petrie conducted excavations at Hawara and discovered a massive stone foundation near the Pyramid of Amenemhat III. Petrie's findings seemed to corroborate the ancient accounts, but the full structure remained hidden. One of the most intriguing aspects of the labyrinth's story is the possibility that it was deliberately hidden or destroyed. Some historians believe that its immense size and complexity posed a threat to invading armies, who may have dismantled it to prevent its use as a fortress. Others suggest the labyrinth may have contained knowledge or artifacts that were deemed too dangerous to preserve. Ancient Egypt was a land of powerful rituals and esoteric knowledge, much of which was closely guarded by the priesthood. If the labyrinth was a repository of such secrets, its destruction could have been an act of both practicality and spiritual protection. Adding to the labyrinth's mystique is the belief that it may have been cursed. Ancient Egyptians often inscribed curses on tombs and sacred sites to deter looters, and the labyrinth, with its rumored wealth of treasures and sacred relics, would have been a prime target. Could the stories of the labyrinth driving men to madness be more than metaphor? Some speculate that the labyrinth's design itself was a form of psychological warfare. The intricate passages and hidden chambers may have been intended to confuse and disorient intruders, leaving them trapped and vulnerable. If so, the labyrinth wasn't just a monument, it was a deadly puzzle. Despite centuries of fascination, the Lost Labyrinth of Hawara remains one of Egypt's greatest mysteries. Was it truly the monumental complex described by Herodotus, or have its stories been exaggerated by time and imagination? If it is ever found, it could reshape our understanding of ancient Egypt, revealing not only its architectural genius, but also the darker truths it sought to protect. Did the Lost Labyrinth guard powerful secrets too dangerous to reveal, or was it destroyed to protect its mysteries? Perhaps its chambers still wait beneath the sands. While the labyrinth may lie buried beneath the sands, our next mystery is scattered across the desert itself. A glass forged by catastrophic heat that some say is a gift from the gods, or a curse from the cosmos. 5. The Black Desert Glass and the Curse of the Gods. The Libyan desert glass is one of the most enigmatic ancient Egyptian mysteries. Found scattered across the Great Sand Sea, this yellow-green material is thought to have formed from a cosmic event 29 million years ago. Its origins, however, remain a puzzle, with no impact crater to explain its creation. What force could have created such a unique and otherworldly substance? And why did the ancient Egyptians revere it enough to include it in the treasures of a pharaoh? The glass, which is almost entirely silica, is remarkably pure and has been dated to approximately 29 million years ago. Its origins, however, remain shrouded in mystery. The material's historical significance was solidified in 1922 when archaeologist Howard Carter discovered a scarab beetle carved from Libyan desert glass in the tomb of King Tutankhamun. The scarab was part of a pectoral, a symbol of great power and protection in ancient Egyptian culture. This discovery raised questions. Why was this rare material so highly valued, And what did the Egyptians believe about its origins? The formation of Libyan desert glass is one of the most hotly debated topics in geology. There are two primary theories. One, meteorite impact. The most widely accepted theory is that the glass was created by the intense heat and pressure of a meteorite impact. Such an event would have melted the desert sand, creating the glass and scattering it across the region. However, no impact crater has ever been found, leaving this theory incomplete. 2. Airburst explosion. An alternative theory suggests that a meteor exploded in the atmosphere above the desert, generating enough heat to liquefy the sand. This scenario is supported by the discovery of similar glass formations in other parts of the world, such as the Tunguska event in Siberia. Both theories point to an extraordinary and violent origin for the glass, but neither fully explains its unique purity and distribution. To the ancient Egyptians, Libyan desert glass likely held a spiritual or symbolic significance. The material's otherworldly appearance and its rarity would have made it a prized possession, perhaps seen as a gift from the gods. Some researchers believe that the Egyptians associated the glass with Ra, the sun god, due to its fiery origins and radiant appearance. The inclusion of a Libyan desert glass scarab in Tutankhamun's pectoral may reflect a belief in its protective powers, both in life and in the afterlife. However, the mysterious nature of the glass also raises darker possibilities. Did the Egyptians view it as a divine blessing or a warning? The violent forces required to create Libyan desert glass suggest that its formation was a catastrophic event. Could the Egyptians have interpreted this as an act of wrath from the gods? In many ancient cultures, meteors and comets were seen as omens, often associated with destruction or divine punishment. Some fringe theorists have proposed that the glass was created by an advanced technology or weapon, perhaps wielded by a lost civilization or extraterrestrial visitors. While these ideas lack scientific evidence, they reflect the sense of awe and fear that the material continues to inspire. Despite decades of study, Libyan desert glass remains one of the most enigmatic natural materials on Earth. Its unique properties have attracted attention from scientists, jewelers, and even conspiracy theorists. Could the discovery of additional artifacts or geological features finally unravel the mystery? Or will Libyan desert glass remain an unsolved enigma, a relic of an event beyond human comprehension? For the ancient Egyptians, Libyan desert glass was more than just a material. It was a symbol of power, mystery, and the cosmos itself. Whether viewed as a divine gift or a cursed relic, it occupied a unique place in their culture, bridging the earthly and the celestial. Even today, the glass challenges our understanding of natural phenomena and forces us to confront the possibility that some mysteries may never be fully explained. From cursed tombs to celestial relics, these mysteries remind us of the depths of ancient Egypt's allure. But as we conclude our journey through the darkest secrets of this civilization, one thing becomes clear. The more we uncover, the more questions remain. Ancient Egypt continues to captivate the world with its grandeur, innovation, and mystique. But as we've seen, the stories buried beneath its sands are far darker and more complex than the golden monuments that tower over the landscape. What makes these mysteries so compelling is their duality. On the surface, ancient Egypt was a beacon of progress, with remarkable achievements in architecture, science, and governance. But beneath this brilliance lies a shadowy undercurrent, a culture deeply intertwined with concepts of death, the afterlife, and divine judgment. What makes these stories resonate so strongly with modern audiences? Perhaps it's the allure of the unknown. In an era where so much of the world feels mapped and understood, the idea that secrets remain hidden in the sands of Egypt is profoundly tantalizing. There's also the timeless nature of these tales. Power struggles, forbidden knowledge, cosmic events, these themes are as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. What happens when we confront forces beyond our understanding? What price are we willing to pay for knowledge or power? And how do we ensure our legacy when we are gone? Which of these stories fascinated you the most? Do you believe we'll ever solve the riddle of Cleopatra's tomb or the lost labyrinth? Or are some mysteries better left untouched? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's darkest and most intriguing corners. We are Freak Files, channel that bring mystery and horror stories to life via tantalizing documentary. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the shadows of ancient Egypt. Until next time, remember, history isn't just about what we know, it's about what we're still searching for.